Hi, Zach here from Universal Air, and today we're going to upgrade on my Tesla Model 3 from the Accuair E Level system to the E-Level Plus. In doing this upgrade from the E-Level to the E-Level Plus, since we are replacing out the ECU, we do want to go ahead and write down where our current ride heights are set, because I do have it aligned at this height, and I don't want to have the vehicle realigned. My tire wear is perfect across there, so I want to keep it that way. So what we did is we measured from the center of the wheel up to the fender. We put a piece of tape on here and we did a mark for 15 inches from here to the center of the wheel for our ride height. With the same thing for the rear, center of the wheel to the fender marked out. Now it's time to rack it up and get it ready to put them in. So when it comes to actually putting the car on the hoist, I picked up a set of these, they call them Tesla pucks. This little O-ring will slide inside the bottom of the body. Then we put the mounting pad on here to lift the car up. All right, now that we have the car on the rack, let's go ahead and dump the air out. I currently do have the I-Level in here, so I've gone ahead and connected up to it. We can go ahead and hold down the all down function, and it'll drop all the air out of the bags. Because we are probably gonna have to drop out the management. There we go, we're all down. Let's get that frunk taken apart. As you can tell here, I don't have my air management inside the frunk. I actually put it down below, which you'll see here in a bit, but we gotta take this tray out. So we gotta pop off this top panel. And from there, there's a bolt in there, a bolt there, this one, pull back the mat, there's one there, and this little cover just pops right off. We unplug that, and then we're gonna have a bolt there, and then this whole tray is gonna pop out. So this is the frunk removed on the front end. If you look way down there, that's where I have my air management system. So right here is my I-Level, and then my ECU is right behind that. So I think our best way to do it is gonna be to drop the bracket out, and then we can move the E-Level, the I-Level, the C adapter, and mount the new ECU right there. So to start, we're going to disconnect the lines that go out to the front and rear bags, along with the touchpad or the height sensor harnesses, because that's connected directly to the vehicle. And then we're able to go raise the vehicle up and drop this whole plate out from underneath. Air management bracket on both sides, along with removing the touchpad harness and the height sensor harness. And now we can raise it up and drop it out the bottom. Now to access the bottom, remove the fasteners around the perimeter. Don't scrape your car like I do. Yeah, remove the fasteners. This whole tray will drop down and we'll have access to our management bracket right there. Now these two nuts, one right there and one right there, will be what actually holds the back half of the air management bracket in, but we also have two bolts at the front side, so it's not gonna just fall out of the vehicle. So here's our air management mount. We were holding the back half on with these two nuts on either side, along with these bolts going through existing holes in this cross member. What we'll do is we'll put the nuts back on this side, and then we'll remove these bolts. We'll support this bracket from underneath here, and then we'll lower it down, and then we'll have access to change out the ECUs. On here we have the ECUs, the I-Level, and the C adapter all mounted on here. We're going to be removing those items, and we're gonna have to drill the holes to mount up the new ECU. So here's my air management system. I have a CVT 3-gallon here, along with a T3. This whole thing slips up inside this cavity, where on the all-wheel drives you have a front drive unit there. Since we have it tucked behind, we have to bring the airlines forward so we can access them, because this will be tucked in behind this section here. Here we have the tanks leaked up from the CVT to the T3, and I do have my wiring harnesses extended, so we're able to drop it out if need be. So the plan now is to remove the I-Level, because the new Bluetooth in the E-Level Plus is a lot better. We get to remove this C adapter because it's now built into the E-Level Plus, along with this original ECU, because same thing, it's now in the new E-Level Plus. So let's get taking it apart. So here we are, we've stripped off the ECU, C adapter, and E-Level, seeing as how all that's now built into the new E-Level, the E-Level Plus. Looks so naked in here now. Now it's time to find out where we're going to mount the ECU at and get our connections made. Now we literally just make our M8 connection, our power connection, and our touchpad and height sensor connections, which are all up in the top. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of an unboxing here. This is the original ECU. It was the R10, which was their latest one. This was the C adapter, which would take the regular valve signals from the ECU and convert it to the digital signal to go into the CVT system. And then this right here was the E-Level, so that way it can have the wireless control from the phone. And this, we had to pin this into the main harness for the power connector to provide the adapter from the C adapter into the ECU. Here is the new E-Level Plus upgrade. It's literally just an ECU. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Wow, so right when we open it up, registration card, which we do want to do that, otherwise we have no warranty. Quick user guide, in case we don't already know how to use the E-Level. This one is for the new touchpad, which does include a compressor status indicator, which we may or may not be changing out the touchpad, because I'm planning on really using the phone-based app for it. Nice mounting template, which we are going to need to do that right now. And our quick start guide, but we never read instructions. And here she is. Wow, look at how they packed that thing. Nice protected, it's not going to get damaged on the way over to us. Let's just make sure we don't drop it when we're trying to put it in. And then now here is all of our connections. Instead of all of this fiasco, we now have it all cleanly built into the back of here. And I'm wondering, did they? We can't be that lucky, can we? So we're gonna have to make a couple holes to mount this up, but that's nice. All right, we went ahead and got it laid out. We measured it centered from either side and spaced it off. We're gonna have it coming up right behind here, so we can still have access to be able to make our connections behind it. Let's go ahead and drill out some holes. Alrighty, here we are putting the bracket back up in there with the air management. As you can see up in there, it is a very, very tight fit. This was one of the first prototypes we made up, and it took several revisions of adjusting where this lands against the high voltage and coolant lines behind it and the front side trying to squeeze up in between here. And like that, everything's mounted back up. We're going to bring it down and go inside and go ahead and test the controller, make sure everything's functioning properly. In the car with the ignition on, if you want to call it that, everything lights up. We don't have any red on the individual corners, so we know the height sensors are reading as well. We can go ahead and manually push them. Make sure everything's functioning. For the down, I can hear the clicks, but you probably can't. Up, so we can hear the air blowing out. So everything's hooked up correctly. Let's go ahead and button up the front. Now, seeing as Accuair hasn't released the app yet for it, I'm going to still use my old E-Level until the Bluetooth app becomes available. So let's go ahead and do the auto learn. Let's go into calibration. We want to do automatic calibration. Up, it says that we should do check our tank pressure. So let's go ahead and double check that first. So we go under settings. Ride height on start, I have to turn that one off. Since my car technically turns on when the doors open, I don't want to raise up every time. Tank pressure set to 200, that's what we want it for. So now let's go ahead and do our calibration. Automatic calibration. Proceed. It's going to be maximum pressure. That's fine for our bags. Let's do start calibration. We'll let it go. So right there, we're checking the sensor travels. Now it's going to do the hokey pokey. All right, and with that, the auto learn is done. Let's go ahead and reset those ride heights where we had our alignment done, and I'll walk you through that. So after doing the auto learn, it will automatically set it to a 50% height, which for me, that's a little too tight right there. We wouldn't measure it at the 15 inches, so we'll go ahead and adjust it to that same height, measuring from the center of the wheel up, and we need to go up probably about 3/4 of an inch. Luckily, I do still have the E-Level installed, so we can just manually air it up. And we check it. It's going to be too far. So we tap it down a little bit. There we go, we're at our 15 inches. Now let's go ahead and go back to the rear. And the back, the same thing, it's a little low. So we tap it up. We're right at our 15. So now that we got our heights in there, we go in under here under menu. Go to save height. It's asking you to put it where the height you want it at. We're already there, so we hit next. We say what position we want to save. So we want to save that for number 2. Turns on, and click save. It says position 2 saved. So now it's lit up. We want to go ahead and hit position 1. These are usually just, I usually use number 1 for my on the freeway showing off type height where you can't turn but yet still will roll. If we look here, that rocker's really close to the ground. The lip of the wheel's gone. Front, that's a little too tight. So let's go ahead and raise that up a little bit more. And that height would be good. Let's raise that back end up a little bit. Same thing, let's go ahead and save it in there for saved heights. This time we'll save that for number 1. Save. Position 1's been saved. Now let's go ahead and hit up position 3. This is mainly for like your speed bumps and driveways. We don't really need to go up that high. So we'll bring it down. That's a little much. I'm going to save it for there. Same thing, saved heights. Next, we want to save that for number 3. Hit save. It's done. And now when we want to go driving, we just hit our number 2. And we'll be ready to go. And I know you guys want to see it. Here's the new touchpad. Same super nice packaging that they did on the ECU. And there she is. So it comes with the stainless housing so that way you can use it on the magnetic mount. The cable can either come out the bottom or behind if you're going to flush mount it. If you look right there, you can see that little C. That's going to be your compressor indicator directly through the touchpad. And with this cable it does have a USB-C or USB connector on the end of it. So I'll go ahead and hook it up so you guys can see it. So here's my current E-Level. It does fit underneath this cover, so you can cover it and hide it if you want. Otherwise, you pop it up like that. You can get access to it. You can hit your presets on there and go right to it. But to connect yours, I did add a 90-degree USB connector on here, so that way you can get it to sit right on that. We'll go ahead and get it connected up so you can see what the new one looks like. So here's the new touchpad. It does look really nice. It's nice to see that indicator through the touchpad so we know when the pump's running. Let's go ahead and get kicked on so you can see it. There we go, pump just kicked on. There we go, pump is running. So now we know when it's on. And when it turns off, it's going to turn back blue. Hope you found that information helpful. If you do, please like, comment down below if you have any questions or anything we can help with, and subscribe to see more. See you soon.